All right, all right. So my first question, Miss Sutherland, is you said something in our last interview. You said as human beings, we sit in who we are. And as talent, whether voice or acting talent, we bring that to the table. Can you speak to how this perception or this frame of mind lended itself to how you cast the voice actors for this series and what have been some of the benefits?
Uh, yes, I think I heard Tay talking about this at one point that voice acting is very different than live action acting, where you get to use your body and your face and your eyes. When you turn off the camera and it's just a voice, you have to exude so much through every word, every emotion. And that's what we're looking for at any given time in any role, is how that character can fully embody how we imagine them. And if we're really lucky, they might even go, "Oh my God, I didn't even think this character could be as dynamic as we hoped." Like I really think Amber just, like she walked in and it was her absolute perfection. Um, and the same with Michael Michelle, that we heard a lot of auditions, but what really captured my heart with her was that I thought, again, she embodied what I wanted Ariel to be, which is, someone who sits up and speaks with a real directness and a sense of agency, and and yet is imaginative and full of dreams and wanting to be adventurous. I felt like I could hear all that in Michael Michelle's audition. And then when I met her, I saw that that's who she is as a human being.
Very
So it
nice.
was just great, great, easy to cast.
Very nice, very nice. You spoke about, a while ago about the power of a very strong, nuanced, and diverse writers' room. Can you speak to how that helped to move this series forward and why, in many respects, it's an asset for parents to, I don't want to guide you too much, but can you speak to how your writers' room and having a diverse writers' room really moved this forward and really set it apart?
Uh, yeah, it again, it's there's some of it that's is the it's not intangible, but that's kind of the word that comes to mind, that um, we we come out of our childhood into the world with all that we experienced from our parents and other relatives, and we carry that inside of us. So whether you're an actor or a writer, that whether you're the producer of a show,
Yes.
you are seeing it through that lens. And then when you're sitting in the writer's room and ideas are flowing, um, then there's opportunity to create nuance. Like, why don't we say it this way? Because of something either that you do now or you remember from your childhood, that someone that isn't African American would never experience. You know, would we have a jump rope episode if we didn't have a Black writer in the room?
Yes.
Um, would we have a hand clapping episode if we didn't have a Black writer in the room? These are things that I remember from my childhood, that I don't have a sense that, kids in other neighborhoods, ethnic neighborhoods, did as children. So these are little examples of how, by diversifying the room, you sort of expand the opportunity, both in the stories, the little actions, as well as little phrases, of throwing in that Lucia says thank you in Spanish. These are just little ways to tune the ear to um, the many different languages that are out there. So yes, the writers bring that to us.
Yeah, those beautiful nuanced isms. You said to me, you said, take the risk. And in the context of Ariel and her being an adventurer, do you have any words of motivation, inspiration for our parenting audience before we finish up here to inspire their children to take the risk and to stay adventurous? Because sometimes as adults, we limit. I'll let
Yes,
you take that.
yes, yes. Uh, yes. I would say however a parent can feel um, comfortable enough, like step a little bit outside of your comfort zone if your kid wants that, right? Like let them kind of lead you a little bit so that they can say, I'd really like to try this thing. And even though it might feel a little scary, the only thing that comes to my mind is like, I want to try to be a trapeze, swing on a trapeze, and that might feel scary, but you can find a way to like let your kid experience that you'll feel okay with it, because that's how we can change the world once we grow up, like that we have a sense of, let me go try that thing rather than I'm just going to stay in this lane that has been created for me.
Yes. Thank you so much. So the word is let the child lead.
Let the child lead, even a little bit.